McSwiggan driving all the way to the basket for two. He has 21 on the night to join Martin's 23. McSwiggan wide open.
Right, Josh from Jart Le Mans in Div 4 in the French League. How are you, mate? You alright?
Doing really good. Working hard as ever. Killer.
Good. Back in the UK now. While obviously we're on shutdown with coronavirus and stuff. Tell us a bit about what you were doing beforehand. Before you all came to a halt, how was your season going?
Season was going well. It was the first season out of college, so it's just like a stepping stone season, just trying to find my feet back in the European basketball. It was going well. I was averaging 10 and 6. You have your ups and downs like any other season. I had to take a little time out because of a knee injury, but all healed because of that. And now I'm just waiting for the season to hopefully resume. And if it doesn't, it'll be on to next year.
Yeah. How long have you been there now? How long have you been in France?
I've been there since August.
Yeah.
So I think off the top of my head, 6-7 months maybe. So yeah.
And how you find it?
Oh, it's good. It's good. Different style of basketball, and even though it's like the 4th league in France, it's a really good standard, and it's just to build up and for the future, and it's really good, doing well.
Yeah. What's your French like? Are a lot of the lads French or? Yeah.
There's only one other guy that's first language is English, but they all speak good English anyway, so I haven't really had to
easy.
In French too much. So it's been good.
Yeah. So just get cracking really. Tell us where you sort of began and how the journey started really, and then just go from there.
Yeah, for sure. And so obviously started off in Warrington. We started at St. Greg's High School is where I kind of got sort of initiated into basketball. Played in the ball hall for going back, I think we were called the Tigers back then, just straight up the Tigers, and that's where we started off playing every weekend, and just kept on working from there. Played for the Cheshire Jets basketball team, moved my way up until I was 16, and I moved to Loughborough where I played for the Leicester Riders Academy. After Leicester Riders Academy, I did 3 years there, finished all my education, and once I finished there, I went to America and I played in El Paso for 1 year. That was a Division 1 school, and unfortunately, because of America, they didn't understand the English education system too well. I had to sit out that year, so it was just like a redshirt year. And after that year, I moved to a college in Wyoming, in Casper, Wyoming, where I played 1 year. Averaged, I think, 14 points a game, and then got quite. It was sort of going back on myself. It was going below Division 1 to get recruited back up to Division 1 because El Paso wasn't a good fit for me, and got a lot of recruiting into the Division 1 programs again, and went on my visits to multiple schools. I had looks at schools like Fresno State, University of Southern California, Oregon State, loads of different schools, and I ended up choosing going to Portland, Oregon, at the University of Portland for my last 2 years of basketball. Played there for 2 years, had a great experience in my junior year. Played against many different schools, many big-time NBA guys now who were playing in the NBA, and so that was a great experience. And we played against teams like North Carolina. We played against Oklahoma, against Trae Young now, who's like going to be the next big thing in
massive,
yeah. So that was a great experience throughout all that. I met so many cool people. The coaching staff were brilliant, and played for the head coach was Terry Porter, who is a Portland legend. Played in the NBA for I think 8 years, and So yeah, it was a great experience out in America. And after America, when I graduated with my business communication degree, I have now moved out to France for my first year of pro and playing in Le Mans for John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Ace, brilliant journey. Really, it was good to watch. To be fair, we used to check in and see stats for when you were over the States and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, a bit. Are you enjoying being so close to home now? So at least you an hour away, an hour flight, 2 hour flight.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half flight. It's good. It's good to be close to home, so it's
Yeah.
easier for like family to come see me and all that stuff. And because in America, you can't just get on a flight and just
Yeah,
see each other.
yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
Things. So,
Tell us how did you go about the? So obviously you went from the Chester Jets days, or Chester Jets, I think they were called at the time, and then went to Loughborough. How did it come about you then going over to the States?
So like, it was quite an interesting journey because I was looking at European options, like possibly playing in like an academy in Spain. But from there on, I kind of said to myself, I just want to experience America. And so, I made a few contacts with just some people in the area. And I said to them, hey, I really just want to play in America and experience it. So they sent out my like highlight tape from playing in college in Loughborough to people they knew in America. And it kind of just got passed around from there.
Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden I just started getting interest from loads of places in America. So luckily it kind of blew up, but it was just basically word of mouth.
I like it. What's the aim now? So you're in obviously you when you're back to the regular season, you're in France. What's your targets? What's your plans?
So just for me personally, I want to sort of play to the highest level I can, like push myself to play. So whether that's first league in France or maybe moving up to like first league in Spain, trying different places and experience different cultures whilst I'm still playing professional basketball, because to be very smart and realistic, basketball doesn't last forever, so you want to experience as much as possible. So I think to beat myself up for like getting to the highest possible level is the main future goal for myself.
Well, brilliant. You're getting to travel the world at least. Do you know what I mean? You're playing basketball, which everyone wants to do, and then you get to see quite a lot of the world. What would you do differently if you could go back in time, or what would you tell yourself starting out?
Like especially as a kid from England, you don't really get much insight to American basketball. So like if someone was to go down that America route, they would want to, you want to do as much research as possible. And I wish that personally I did more research. I kind of just sort of was a bit lazy about the whole thing. Didn't do enough research into where I was going in America, what school. And I wish I picked a school from the beginning that I would want to stay there for all 4 years of university. So I think that's the only thing I would have tried to do differently. But everything happens for a reason, so you kind of my journey was meant to happen one way or another. Yeah.
No, I like that. What do you think of English basketball now then? From where you were, obviously back on the Chester Jets days, I suppose when you were playing National League, it was the National League teams were few and far between, or a lot smaller than what it is now. How do you think English basketball is looking?
Especially from where I was playing for 5-6 years ago, it's changed so much, and I think for the better, of course, for younger players coming up and playing in like like little programs and local leagues. There's so much like more to offer for people who want to play basketball in England, and I think that's a great thing for kids aspiring to play the sport at a high level. It gives them options to go to America or play at a high level in England if they want to, or there's so many options for English kids nowadays that kind of wasn't there even as few as 4 or 5 years ago. And so I think that's the progress that the English basketball is making is brilliant.